Push back on that. I think Israel and Netanyahu have taken the position that this is a war against Hamas, and it will continue. And not being charitable to the Israeli position, there have said. I know there are some far-right actors who have said other things and do want an occupation of Gaza, but Netanyahu and the government have said the point is to defeat Hamas militarily, and so the war would continue even if hostages were gotten back or other things. Now, this might be different than the Biden administration position because Biden has, recently talked about this supposed ceasefire deal that he's gotten, mixed messages from Israel. Whether they're supportive of that, I don't actually think they are supportive of that because they've said they will continue until they have defeated an antagonist that attacked them on October 7th.
So explain to me, militarily, why the Israeli government intentionally starves the entire civilian population of Gaza.
As part of they're blocking aid to the people of Gaza. They are at war with the government of Gaza. There's some duty they have to keep the people of the territory they're besieging well fed. Is that what the position you're taking?
Yes. That is the position of the international humanitarian establishment.
Yeah. Well, this is why international law, if it gets in the way of a one state's war with the people, with a terrorist organization that attacked them, some would say, okay, enjoy your international law, I think.
Well, but why is it necessary to starve the civilian population if they could go after Hamas officials militarily?
Because Hamas has stolen the supplies from the people over and over again. Is the accusation that Israeli officials and U.S. officials have made, right? That this aid is taken by Hamas and is not given to the people.
We've seen significant reporting from Reuters, from Associated Press, from many highly esteemed outlets establishing that Israel is intentionally blocking the majority of the aid, that it is not allowed to get through, and this is why we're seeing famine in Gaza. Furthermore, we saw the pier that the Biden administration set up completely fail. First of all, why was there a pier set up in the first place if we are interacting with an ally like Israel, where we should be able to have a functional relationship, say, look, aid needs to get in. If you need to go after Hamas officials, that's fine, but we do need to protect and feed the civilian population. And instead, we build this incredibly expensive pier which has fallen apart, is not working. There's been no accountability on that. Why was that even allowed to be the decision that was made? And now it's not even working. I think it's, history will judge the United States and Biden, as well as Israel, for its behavior during this time. The international community and the rest of the world, there is a consensus. U.S. leadership is completely destroyed by this, far more than it was previously due to American actions like the Iraq War, for example, which had already undermined America's credibility and claims to leadership. But I do worry that this is dealing a truly historic blow to America's position as previously having been a moral leader for the rest of the world.
I think it's also worth noting that there's obligations under international law for an occupying power to provide certain basic needs to the people that it's occupying. This isn't an independent state that has obligations to its own people. It's a community that is not allowed to be a state, both by Israel and because of the intervention of the United States at the UN repeatedly to preclude it from being recognized as such, although, of course, the majority of member nations do recognize Palestine as a state.